What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be going over Wisefab install on an E90. Basically the same for E92 as well. If you're new here, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing. I haven't uploaded in 2 months and I'm still gaining new subscribers, so I appreciate that, and hopefully I should be making some more content soon. Anyways, happy holidays, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button. Alright, so got everything out the box. Got the tie rods. These are the M, if you're running like M brake calipers, those are the adapters for it, so I won't be running those. Got the top hats with a whole bunch of adjustment, control arms, one piece design, and then the knuckle. Got some cool stuff on there. Looks like that's like the Ackerman adjustment, and then this is like the lock stop, and then in the mix of everything I also got this Chase Base Hydro that won't be installing today, but I just put it on the table. Got the wheel off, and it should be pretty straightforward. So if you guys remember, I installed the Unicorn Racing Designs kit, and as you can see it's running the M3 control arms and have only one event on this kit with like 800 miles, and it felt great. So for sale, if anybody wants it, just hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. But got all my tools laid out. About to take this apart, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, as I'm laying here under the car, I remembered that I am horrible at filming, and I just put the camera down and start working. So in my opinion, if you're about to install a whole Wisefab kit, you should know how to take everything off, but for the sake of learning, if you don't know how to do anything, you first want to remove your control arm. So this forward one, which is right here, it's just one bolt, and then there's like a clip nut on the end, so you'll remove that, take that out. And then the other end was in here, in this pocket. And basically, if you look on top, there's a Allen head. So what you want to do is get an Allen head, put it in here with the ratchet, obviously. I don't think this is the right size, but with the ratchet holding that, and then you can get an open-end wrench like so to be able to take it off. So it'll be like that, and then the Allen on top holding the control arm in place, and then just taking it off. And then on the other side you got just this long bolt, which I took the nut off already, to come off. Now before I remove this, I was thinking, hey, while I'm here, because this is the only thing that's kind of holding the whole assembly on, is to go ahead and remove my caliper, which is these two 18mm bolts, and then from there I can unbolt everything else. So let's get to it. Alright, what's up guys? Once again, bad at filming, but there's once you remove that caliper with those two 18mm nuts over here, right here, there's one up here. Ideally everyone has like a bungee cord and they hang it, but with me putting the new control arms in, I didn't want to hang it, so I just put a bucket, let it rest right here, take some stress off of the brake line. Speed sensor, just undo that with a tiny little Allen key, and then you got the 4 main 18mm bolts. I'm going to take those out, and then this is the back side of your rotor and hub. This heavy thing should come free, and this will bolt onto the Wisefab assembly. And from here, basically the only thing that's left is to remove this nut. And to remove this nut, instead of an Allen key, it's actually a Torx bit. What I was explaining earlier, basically you'll put the Torx bit in here, use the open end wrench, get this bolt off, and then the shock bolts on with one bolt and nut right here, and this whole assembly will come out, and then the Wisefab can go in. So hope that explains it decently. Looks intimidating, but it's actually just removing bolts and putting new bolts in. So catch you guys up in a little bit. Just in case if that didn't make sense to anybody that isn't familiar with working on cars, so basically I got the T40 Torx bit in my ratchet, and then I got my 21mm wrench, and I'm holding tension on one and then I'm loosening the other. Alright, disassembly complete. If you look behind me, you got your rotor and hub assembly. You got basically the old knuckle, which is extremely light, and then this is where the coilover sits. So the only thing that's left in the car is the coilover, which I'll remove from the top. Get your forward control arm, which mine are brand new M3. Your rear control arm, and then this was the knuckle adapter from Unicorn Racing, and the SPL parts with the tie rod. So we'll be replacing all of that with the new Wisefab. So that knuckle, this knuckle will replace this. This will bolt onto there. And if I remember correctly, yep, this is the right side. Instead of having two separate arms, the forward and rear, it will go like so. So we're gonna toss that into the car, but first let me remove the coilover from the top, because probably the most intimidating part of the whole install will be the top hats, just because you have to drill into the strut tower area. Honestly, not a terrible install. It's actually going pretty well. Hope that doesn't change. But like I said, the most intimidating part is just cutting the strut tower. Sneak peek. Got some Kanzes. Look at the beast. But yeah, so as I was explaining, got a lot of my boost controller stuff in the way, but we'll be removing this strut brace, removing the 3 top hat bolts, 1, 2, and 3, and then you see where take this glove off. You see where this strut tower brace is bolted on. Basically, we're just gonna notch this area of the strut tower to allow for the top hat to sit like so, I believe. Gotta look at some more pictures, but pretty sure that's how you have to notch it. Be right back. Alright, so I got the lower control arm installed. It's quite simple. It's kind of just simplifies it. Where you had 2 arms, the mounting points, the subframe here, it's now just 1 A-arm with spherical joints. So just put the bolt through, put the nut in the front one. I was reading the instructions, and there was like zip tied 2 washers to this end, so you want to put 2 washers in before you put the bolt through, which was a little tricky, definitely tight, but it's pretty easy to get it done. Right now I'm just contemplating whether or not I want to put the hub onto the knuckle, or do I want to, I'll probably just go ahead and remove the coil and then notch that area I was talking about earlier, get that all situated with the top hat, and then work on the bottom and then mount everything up. So overall the install seems really simple. Just gotta notch this, so probably get to that right now. Alright, so basically you want to remove this top part of the BC coil. It's just the 119mm nut, and then put the Wisefab top hat on. In the instructions it says the furthest forward, most forward position. Looks like it was already set there. So now we're just gonna mock this up to the chassis, kind of get some marks, and then cut away. Way too much. Alright, getting pretty late, but got the knuckle installed onto the hub, got the control arm in, did the notch, got the top hat on, and then luckily I read the instructions because I had to move the camber plate to the most far forward position. I did mess up the cut right here. I just went, let me see if I can clean the camera. I just went a little too far right there, but I should be able to just like weld it and then clean it up, and then I'll probably just remove all this and then just like spray paint this black so it doesn't rust. But it's in there. Realize the dampening adjuster just slides in right there, so probably leave it out, and then whenever I need to adjust I'll just put it in. But if anybody's gonna do this notch, I recommend using a different tool than a grinder. That's all I had. 4.5 inch grinder is a little bit too big, and you can't really control it the way you want to. Maybe like a die grinder or something like that, but I'm not gonna buy a $300 tool for one-time use, so I could probably clean it up, and then like I said, just that little slit right there, just weld that, reinforce that. But all things considered, that was the most terrifying part. Got done with that, so I'm just gonna put that knuckle back on the coil and then hook up the arm, and we should be good. Alright, quick update. It's getting really late, but pretty much got one side fully installed. Got the hub on, the knuckle on. There's a slight gap. I can't really push it all the way up, so I'm thinking just loosen this, and then when I drop the car, the weight of the car will close that gap, and then I'll be able to retighten that. Haven't put the caliper back on, but got the tie rod in and the control arm hooked up to the knuckle. Everything was pretty straightforward, super easy install, but I need to get some sleep because I got work tomorrow. But I'll to be continued tomorrow. What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's the day after. Didn't work on it last night because I had baby duty, but it's the day after next. This side's all done. I just gotta mount the caliper on and then start on the other side. After looking at different tools, I should have just bought the die grinder instead of using like my big 4.5 inch grinder. The die grinder is just like a smaller one, and it could be more precise. Not too happy about the cut, but like I said before, I can just weld that up and clean it up. But as of right now, it's sits crazy far out. So I'm gonna go ahead, not talk a lot, and start on this. Alright, so just got everything bolted back up, and then I figured why not just throw one of the Kanzes on there. And this is pretty much how it sits out the box based off of the Wisefab settings and the instructions. As you can see, there's a shit ton of poke. Looks like I'm towed in a little bit, so I'll adjust that after I do the other side. But I got a 18 by 8.5 35mm offset, and it's pretty close to the coil. I don't know if you can see it, so unfortunately I'll probably have to run the little 10mm spacer, but all things considered, I'm probably going to end up cutting along this line into the bumper, and then the wide body should fit over it pretty nicely. But man, these Kanze wheels are sick. Alright, on to the other side. Just gotta put the Code GoPro here. Let's see if you see anything. Tilt it up. Boom. So, start taking off the old arms. Take off the tie rod. If you're stock, obviously this will look different, but this is basically the Unicorn Racing kit with the SPL arm and the adapter. Alright. You're removing the old tie rod. These are pretty much brand new too. I only got like 1,000 miles on them. Right. Put that to the side. Alright. Now from here, we're going to remove these two 18mm nuts. Gotta go get the tool. Mixing it with the Wisefab. So just caliper off, let it rest there on the bucket. Alright, so far we got the brake caliper off. I loosened up the 4 bolts that hold on to the hub, but for right now I'm going to remove the forward control arm and the rear control arm, and then the clamp that holds onto the coilover, and remove the hub, the rotor, and everything together. Then once it's off the car, I can just take these 4 bolts off. But for the forward control arm over here, this one you're only going to have one 18mm bolt, and on the back side it's like a washer nut type thing, so pretty simple. Where's that gun at? This one came out pretty good. Long bolt, 18mm. Put that aside. Saw. And now for the bottom, there's a Allen key that's on the stud that you're gonna want to hold while you loosen the nut. Oh, finally. Boom, forward control arm out. And this unicorn adapter. Alright, so holy shit. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm a little sick. Just got a sore throat and stuff, but after I removed the lower control arm, I was able to loosen up this clamp to remove the whole hub from the BC coilover. So then now I can take my big impact gun and loosen up these 4 bolts right here. Alright, cleared my throat a little bit, but what I was saying is, I think the last clip, I took the original hub off, new hub, the new knuckle goes on here, on the old hub, and then take the lower control arm off, and basically this bolts through. Then where the forward control arm goes, this will go up. The only thing with the front is you got 2 washers, which are kind of tricky. So this one, the nut is kind of like clipped on here. You want to put the bolt through with washer on each side of the heim joint, and then this will go onto the knuckle. So you got your bolt, your washer, heim joint, and then your other washer. So honestly, this is probably the trickiest part of the job, but I'm gonna put the camera down, essentially just slide this washer through and kind of wobble the bolt until it catches on the other side. Not too bad. Alright, welcome back. Feel a little better. I don't know if you guys heard it, but I was pretty sick. But I was able to get this control arm on. This was kind of a bitch with the 2 washers. It just wasn't lining up, and it took me a little bit of fighting to get it on, but I finally got it on. So the only thing that's left on this side is to bolt the knuckle to the wheel hub, and then install the top hat on the coilover, and then trim this side of the strut tower. The only thing that I thought about is my catch can is mounted to this strut brace, so gonna have to find a new mounting position for this. Ideally in the future I would like to keep the strut brace, but because I have to cut for the clearance, I might have to come up with another solution. So let's get to it. Alright, so got the coilover removed. Hopefully on this side when I trim it, it's gonna be a little cleaner. And once again, still gotta come up with the catch can mount. My buddy Lebo just showed up. Just wanted to hang out, get out the house in the freezing cold, but right now I got the coilover off. So basically you're gonna remove this 19mm nut, and then you're gonna put on the Wisefab top hat. So just gonna film this real quick. Got out my big impact, hopefully it'll come up. When I was doing the other side, you know those videos where like they like do the stock springs that just goes poof. I was like, oh. I was like, nah. Yeah, so this whole piece just comes off, and then you replace it with the good old Wisefab. Yeah, like there's a couple of videos online, dude, but they're like Pro Series cars. Like they don't go through like the install. Yeah. It's not hard at all, but like there's like certain things that I just once I looked at it, I knew, but like there wasn't a video to show me. So figure out make a video. Couple Ugga Duggas. Good old Wisefab.
Money.
There you go. And then on the instructions, if you look right here, it tells you to put in the most far forward position. So I'll undo these two, and then go right here, and then these two bolts will go in. So a little tiny little Allen key, and then do some cutting, and then slap it in the car. Peace. Yeah, just click it. Alright, as per usual, forgot to film because we were just caught up talking, but we got this side completely in. It went way smoother than the other side, probably just because I done it once already, but got the tie rod in, got the brake caliper on, got the coil seated all the way down. One thing I did notice, hey, could you hand me the light? So in the Wisefab instructions, it says to like have the top hat like in the most far forward position. So I did, but I did notice that the coil is sitting pretty close to everything. It's almost like touching the fender liner, so not too sure. Gonna ask some people on Facebook about it, but just curious about that. And then on this side, we went to go throw on the wheel just to see how it looks, and these are 18 by 8.5 35. The reason I went with 35 is because Wisefab already pokes a lot, and I was like, yeah, let's play it safe, but I should have went with the lower offset because the inside of the wheel is touching the coilover. So I threw in, I think that's a 10 mil, yeah, 10 mil spacer. Now it sits out like crazy. But damn, these wheels look good. I don't know. Still got the wide body I gotta install. I'm not gonna do that. I'll probably just trim this real quick, just for test day. Trim this fender, because I mean the over fender pretty much covers this whole fender, so I can trim quite a lot. But I think I'm gonna follow this body line and go from there. But here, hold this real quick. I'm gonna go turn the steering wheel. How does that look? Sick?
Yeah. Oh, there goes the bumper. Yeah, you're gonna have. Oh, don't do it. No, don't anymore.
Need a break?
No.
I want to see how it looks. Sick. I'm definitely gonna have some clearance issues back in here. Might have to raise it up a little bit, do some shaving, maybe move this ABS box because I don't use ABS anymore, but ideally I wouldn't even be driving it this much angle. Looks good. Alright, let's get to chopping. Where's the old grinder? That's annoying. God damn. Ooh. You You know, I've done many things to the car, but not cut it up like this. I'm glad you're here with me. What if I just like... Oh, did I?
No.
No. I was like, what if I just cut up my brand new tire? Rest in peace, fender. All right, we just trimmed it up, gave it some clearance. Looks like shit right now. Obviously, this bumper's thrashed. I gotta get a new one, but the wide body fender will go completely over this, and it will be sick. Actually, I might just pull it out. Check it out real quick. Obviously, it's a rough mock-up, but I was just showing my buddy Lebo the wide body kit, and it's honestly spot on. So let's drop this thing. Just dropped it on the ground. I forgot the I was wondering why it was so low. It wasn't this low before, but obviously the Wisefab knuckle itself is like a drop knuckle, so it sits way lower. But dang, look at that Mexican flush. Oh, I can't say that on my YouTube. that Mexi flush. It looks aggressive, dude. Crazy. Crazy.
Wheels look good though.
They do. I want to throw on the back ones. Sick. Alright. Well, that'll conclude the video. It's kind of long, overdrawn, but it's what happens when you have kids and you can only work on the car for like 2 hours a night. And I wasn't feeling too well the other night, so feel good now. Now I just got to get it aligned, and hopefully we'll be hitting the track like the Tuesday after Christmas. So gonna dial this out, and I know it looks ugly, but I'm just gonna run it like that for now because I don't want to mess up the new wide body. Just want to get like one test day. I've been itching to drive, and definitely gonna raise it up, bro. Crazy. All right, thanks guys. Like, subscribe, comment, you know the deal.